Hello, guys. Good evening. Hope you all are doing well. And I'm expecting your Christmas was well. You all celebrated and enjoyed very nice weekend and the festivals. All right. So let me just record this session and let me just. Okay. So today I'm going to discuss very interesting thing. People are keep talking and keep discussing about chat GTP. Okay. So it is very new. I'm just telling you, even it's not completed 1 month, or might be it's completed just 1 month after launching. Okay. It was just launched in the previous month only. Okay. So this chat GTP was launched in November 2020 itself. Okay. And once it launched, it's make very popularity in the market, right? And why? Even more than the Google, Facebook, whatever the platform you have think till now, social media or any other platform, this chat GTP having the one of the highest, you can say subscription, or people just download it, just get sign up for this particular chat GTP. So everyone is talking about chat GTP. Okay. And I'm telling you, it's like game changer. This chat GTP is a game changer. Okay. So if you are the modern life engineer, or like any people who is working in the corporate field, or might be you are doing a study, or might be you're thinking about the future, you should know this. What is chat GTP? Because this is going to make your life very easy. Note my word. The life will be very easy, and many of jobs, many of the roles are going to be, very easy for the people who is working in a very complex scenario, and they having a very challenge to just serve their jobs. So your life is going to be very easy if you know this particular platform. What is that platform? If you're just building any kind of a business, if you're just trying to build your own blogs on any online platform, you want to make videos, you want to make lot of kind of the activities which is related to the digital world. When I talk about digital world, like internet, if I just wanted to earn money from the internet, you are the instructor, you are the learner, you are the job working professional, whatever you are doing, even you are the student, this is going to be very helpful for you. So that's why I'm just going to talk about what is chat GTP. Okay. And what is a function that they are going to be used in different domain, and after using those functions, what result we are going to get. Okay. So the purpose of discussing this chat GTP on this channel, because we are talking about the network security, cloud, cyber security. That's all are very in the hype in the market, right? And I'm an instructor, and we are working, and we are keep giving the training like on the GuiNet technologies on the various platform like Cisco, Versa, Palo Alto, like a lot of things we are going to discuss here. So different module we are delivering the training. So I want my audience, my people should know what the change is going to happen after implementing this chat GTP. Okay. And is it really going to be replace our network or security engineers? So that's the main question, right? Because when I talk about chat GTP, it's not normal things. It's very high level things. Okay. And whenever when I'm talking about the high level things, that having the impacts on the jobs as well. So are this really going to impact our jobs? So let me just discuss about what is first chat GTP. And then after discussing this chat GTP and then all, what I'll do, we'll try to achieve this lab. So I just created the routing lab, BGP, OSPF, and the switching lab also, where the ether channel, VLAN, and BTP, everything. And let's see how this is going to be fully configured and operational by using the chat GTP. So this is what I am just wanted to showcase. Let's see how much I am going to cover in this video, but I'm committing if I'll be not able to cover this all topics in today's session in last 1 hour. So probably we'll cover in the next session, but this is the agenda. Probably I'll make part 2 for this video for a different configuration, but definitely I'll try to cover how to configure the BGP, how to configure the OSPF, how to make the eBGP session between the router, how to make the ether channel between the switches. So these labs is completely brand new. There is no configuration, but how by using the chat GTP, I'll make this configured. I don't know. Even I'm the non-technical person. I don't have any experience how to configure the router. But someone, or might be I'm the very L1 people, and someone assign a task. Hey, can you just configure this lab or configure this router configuration? So, oh, is it really? I need to configure. I don't know how to configure. Then what I'll do? So let's talk to ChatGPT. ChatGPT will help me. He is my friend. He will help to configure this router and switch. So definitely we'll enjoy. Just stay tuned with me. Okay. We'll enjoy it together. So let's discuss first what is ChatGPT and what the feature we are going to get and what all benefits we are going to get. Okay. So moving to the next slide, I'll discuss what is ChatGPT and how you guys can open your, account in the ChatGPT. This is the most important thing. Okay. You should know. So GTP, if you talk about, this was launched in the November 2022. So just 1 month old, even not more than 1 month. So it's a very new baby in the market. And if you are just watching this video, I must say, just try it today. Not waste time. Just go and just try to sign up on this particular websites, https openai.com. Once you open this website, let me show you how you're going to sign up. So once you open this website, it is going to ask you to let me just uh, you just click it here. So let me just show you. So once you open the website, just click on the chat GTP and it's the open AI. So I'll talk about what is the open AI later. And then after, you just have to click chat GTP. And once you click on chat GTP, it will just redirect you to the sign up page. Okay. So once you click on the sign up page, you just have to put your email address, your name, and it will send the verification code on their emails. So once your email will be verified, it is going to ask you the mobile number. So once you put the mobile number, it is just going to provide one OTP, and you just have to put that OTP. And then after this, your chat GTP account will be ready. So for my case, I have already done everything in a different browser. So here is my platform for the chat GTP. You can see here. So once you've done everything, then you'll get this kind of the platform or probably dashboard where you'll find the chat GTP, and we'll see how it can be used. And this is my lab, which I'm going to configure by using the chat GTP. Okay. So moving to the next again in my slide. So that is talking about what is chat GTP. So it's like you can find in the Google, even I have taken the Google open reference. I'll be very honest because it's very new and a lot of people are talking in the various other platform. So it's talking about chat chat GTP is a chat bot. So very important. Again, what is chat bot? We'll discuss. Launched by the OpenAI. What is OpenAI? We'll discuss again. So this is chat GTP is again new, chatbot is again new, and OpenAI is again new. So everything is new for us in this particular sentence. But one thing is very understandable. It all launched in November 2022. So just 1 month back, it was launched. So what they are talking further about, it is a build on the top of the OpenAI chat GTP 3 point 5 family of the large language models, and it's a fine tune with the both supervised and the reinforcement learning techniques. Chat GTP original author is the OpenAI. So let's discuss what is a GTP. GTP is a generative pre-trained transformer. Okay, so don't go in the full form, but if you wanted to know what is GTP, so GTP is known as a generative pre-trained transformer. So this is something inherited from the OpenAI. So what is the OpenAI? So OpenAI is a just non-profitable research company that aim to develop that the artificial intelligence. So we are talking about the artificial intelligence like AI. So people are talking about like by using the AI, we can minimize the human work. We can do a lot of like automation. So this is the thing. So OpenAI is the company that is open research non-profitable company. They keep talking about the and keep doing the research on the OpenAI, and based on that, they are developing that particular multiple automation and OpenAI where that's making the human life very easy. So this is the OpenAI. But again, what is chatbot? So chatbot is nothing. It's like computer program designed language, simulated conversation. So let's suppose you are using the conversation with a computer. So computer having a predefined programmed. So like you are using operating system. Based on the operating system, you are running the Word file, Excel file, PPT, whatever you are just doing on the work on the computer. You're just putting your input, and based on that, they are just writing on the different applications. So this is like input and writing the application you are using. So again, that are based on the program. But here chatbot is something based on the user inputs. So let's suppose I want to talk with you, right? So you are my teacher and I am your student. So I have some query, right? So I want to say, hi sir, can you just help me? What is OSPF? So sir is going to talk on the board, and he will explain OSPF is open path, like OSPF is a routing protocol that having the blah blah ID value and metric, and this is like how OSPF never seen is going to form. So a lot of like thing he is going to talk about OSPF. So you are getting answer from your teacher, and based on that you are making your mind or you're making your notes. So this is the same thing chatbot. So teacher having the pre-programmed everything in his mind. How? Basically he learned books, he learned OSPF, he do the practical about OSPF, and based on that learning and by using the books knowledge, they build everything in their mind. And then after, once you asking the question, he is able to provide the answer. Similar is a chatbot is like one of the super computer, super design, like you can say like very intelligent teacher, which having all kind of the answer, right? So it is going to talk to you like whatever you want to ask. No need to ask anyone, just ask to ChatGPT. They will use the chatbot, and based on that, they will provide the answers, right? It's a real-time answer, and it's a more unique, more realistic, not something we are finding in the Google. So again, I'm going to compare what Google do, what chatbot do, right? So that's very interesting. You just have to understand. So again, I'm going to say like people are talking about, is it going to replace the Google, right? So I can say definitely it can be replaced, right? Because it is having more feature in compared to Google's, right? Google having what? Let's say suppose I put some blogs for particular topic, right? Or any website put some kind of the article in their website. So Google search engine just inherit that all like articles, blogs, whatever your people are feeding there. And once you just typing the question based on that article and all, they will provide the answer. So someone is already put it in the manually somewhere, and based on that, they are getting the answer. And that is like might be unique for the one website, but not unique for you, right? But here, once you go to the chat GTP, it is just not going to like search someone or refer someone articles. It is just going to give you real time answer to you. Like it will be very unique, not something like going to ask or just copy and paste some thought process and provide the answer. It's not like that. Google is just getting from answer from the Wikipedia, some websites, some blogs like that. But here is not going to happen, right? It's a real time. So that's why you can see here chat GTP using the chatbot is again programming something in the superpower computer. They're having all kind of the brains and real time thought process, and based on that they can interact and do the conversation with the humans, right? Especially over the internet. So that's why you can see they are talking especially over the internet. So that's why it's a very interesting. All right, moving further, right? So what type of work basically we can do by using the chat GTP? Okay, so I have taken some kind of the examples, not all kind of the examples. So here you can see, if you want to write the programming language, right, it is very useful for you. No need to worry at all. I'll show you how the programming language also can be. If you want to work with C++, Java, .NET, Angular, whatever the programming language you are working, and you want to write some programming language real time, you don't want mentor, you don't want your seniors or anyone, you can probably do most of the work by using not all type of work, but at least your life will be the very easy. Probably in the future, this chat GTP will be the very robust, and probably 80-90% work is going to be done by this chat GTP. But for now, most of the work you can do, but not all. They having always also some limitations, right? So programming language automation script for the networking devices, security devices, SDWAN devices. If you want to run the automation, REST API and all, it is also possible. You can get a script based on the JSON, Python, other, like we having a lot of young modeling, data modeling, so XML data. So whatever you having, you want to do the automation script by this particular shared GTP, it is also possible. I'll show you how to write the chat GTP, because it's the series is going to be happen. So various things I'll try to show you, network automations, programming language, network devices configuration by using the chat GTP. So that is going to happen in the later sections. Okay. Now, the interesting part is the network configurations, right? Which I am going to show you how basically network configuration is going to be happen. So let us suppose you want to configure the firewall, you want to configure the router, you want to configure the switch. You don't know how to do the configuration. So basic things you start learning, or you start finding from the internet, and you can do some extent of work by using this chat GTP. Okay. So I'll show you what kind of the work we can achieve by this chat GTP, right? Email writing, you can just use daily work like email writing. You want to do some replies, you can get some kind of the answer. You just put the emails whatever you receive, and based on that email they will show you the reply, what should you reply should be happen on this email. This kind of work also you'll find on this particular GTP. Okay, I tried and tested. Okay, so if you want, if you have some email you want to reply, just put it here email. Based on that, it will read and it will suggest you what reply. And if you don't happy with the response, you can just try it again, it will give the new response. So keep trying. Okay, so once you feel like I have the some kind of the various emails conversation which looks very appropriate, you can just amend some parameter in the email and you can reply that. So that is also very helpful. So if you're just wasting your time to writing an email, might be 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or something like that, 10 minutes, you can do within the 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so that is going to save your life very easy while writing the email also. If you are the working like a home, not working, not home, you are, if you are the student, you are college, you are the 10 12 and you want to just complete your homeworks, even it is useful for you. Any algorithm, any mathematics, any physics, any chemistry, if you want to solve any question, I'll show you how it is going to be happen, and it is going to solve everything. You want to write very unique articles for your websites, and it is going to be gives very unique, even it is completely exempted from the Google SE. So it is not something like it is going to match someone has, copied someone content like that. So if I want to write my own website content, so I can just write unique blog by using the chat GTP. Just you have to put a subject and it will give the very unique blog for you. And if you want to amend something, you can do that. If you want to just use same, you can use that also. If you want to write some essay, some kind of the paragraph, it's also possible. So many more thing you can do. So I have just given some examples where what all probability we have to do all this work. So basically this kind of work we can do. So I hope you guys understand what is a chat GTP, and what is a chatbot, what is OpenAI. These are the key things. Now again I'm talking, is it really going to replace the network engineer jobs, right? So this is the more important for us, right? So here is a lab. Okay, you can see it. So in this lab we having a two tasks, right? So in this first is one is R1, R2 and R3, three devices are connected. One is OSPF area 0 and one is OSPF area 1, and here I want to form the EBGP. So it's not very easy task, right? If I'm talking to L1 can do this job, might he can do, but he have to very struggle. L2 could be, but also might be very good L2, right? L3 definitely he should have the BGP, OSPF, and like all understanding, so he can do like network engineer jobs. L2 also can do, some L2 are very good, but some are the very recently promoted in the L2s. They having the basic knowledge of the till OSPF, BGP they don't know, so might be they struggle to do the configuration. So now the task is, if you are the L1 or you are the L2, or might be you are the non-technical manager. So managers who listening me, don't mind. Okay, it's not pointing, I'm also non-technical people. Okay, so so if you are the non-technical manager and you want to do some kind of the configuration, might be your L3 engineer on the leave, or might be he is busy in the very task, your implementation is very busy. and you really want to check how the configuration could be done, and budget the configuration what they have defined, is it looks correct or not. So probably you can go in Google, and if you try to search that configuration, you'll not find the exact configuration what your router have in a real scenario. So might be the topology could be different in the internet, in Google, and someone given some article about OSPF how to configure the R1, R2, and R3. Their topology could be different, but my topology could be custom, anything. And I want, as per my topology, my configuration should be ready. So similar thing, we'll try to explore. Is it possible we can do via the chat GTP? I'll show you. Okay. Before I am saying yes or no, what all we can do. But let's see how we can do that. Similar, let's say suppose I have the switch 1, switch 2, and switch 3. I want to run the port channel configuration, right? So again, people are simple doing the configuration about the VLANs, like access port, trunk port, some extent they do, but when about the port channel configuration, there is a layer 2 port channel, there is a layer 3 port channel. So probably they confused how to do the port channel configuration, right? And what is the LSCP, what is the like LSGP, PHGP, sorry. So one is the open and standard, one is the like Cisco proprietary protocols. These are the Ether channel protocols we use. So we'll talk in the CCNP in more details. So how the protocol is going to be used, and how particular switch trunk port is going to be configured, and how they can undermap in the different port channel, like port channel 12, 13, and 23. So let me just show you, okay? So before wasting your time, now I have a chat GTP and I have the lab task, right? And I have to achieve. So before I start this configuration, just understand about dashboard of the chat GTP, what they are talking about, okay? So they are talking about some examples. They are talking about the capabilities. They are talking about the limitations. So they having limitations, right? So first talk about examples, what they can do. So explain the quantum computing in the simple terms, right? If you're having any quantum computing theory you want to understand, they can explain. Got any creative ideas for 10 years old birthday? Like this is just example, like you want to get the idea and all, you want to write the IT, any article blogs and all. So this is like how you can just do that. How to make the HTTP request in JavaScript. So again, this is language. So this is the examples, they can do that, right? So similar kind of job, they can do that. Now, what are the capabilities they're talking about? So remember what you just said in the earlier in the conversation. So if you are talking about some series of the conversation, they catch your conversation, they understand your emotions, and based on the previous conversations, whatever you're asking the new question, they will try to give the exact answer what exactly you are looking for. It's not like you are looking for C and they are giving answer for Z. It's not like that. They will definitely talk about after C it's D. Okay. So what the past conversation you have done, they keep that conversation in their mind, and while replying to your next answer, they will refer to the past conversation, and based on that, what the new question, and they understand the context of the question, and then they are going to reply, right? So this kind of the capability, like human brain capability, like how human can talk, right? So when we talk with any stranger or any kind of the our bosses or like our colleagues, so we understand what he is thinking, right? Based on the like his input, like first we listen them, and after listening we ask him like, can you ask your question? Then we can correlate what he was thought process, and now what he's asking, then we can might be diplomatically answer, or might be exactly very strict yes no we can answer them. So it's up to us like how basically we are going to answer them. So this is how basically capabilities can be defined. Allow user to provide the follow-up corrections, right? So if you're not happy with anything answers, you can just ask again and again. So they will just give the more articles results for you, right? Train to decline inappropriate request, right? So if you're asking something which is not as per the term and conditions, so probably they will not answer you, right? Limitations they have may occasionally generate incorrect information. So this is again not a human. Even you are the human, so probably sometimes they can generate some wrong information. So you have to be accept it. Everyone having the error capability. No one is perfect, even in the life, even every human having some kind of the errors. Similar, this chat GPT also can generate some errors. So you just have to read whatever the input they provided, and based on that, you can just, make your decisions. May occasionally produce harmful instruction or biased content content, right? So it could be like human also do some kind of biased stuff and the harmful instructions. So it's again chat gtp, it's like the humans exactly. Sometime it will be biased, okay, and might be it's not favor for you. So you just have to digest that also, right? Similar what you just digest whenever your competitor be biased, or might be your senior be biased, or your manager be biased. So you just have to digest, no other choice, or might be you have to change jobs, right? So similarly, you have to just digest limited knowledge of the world and event after 2021. So it's very new. So again, they having some kind of limited knowledge, but I'm saying it's going to be huge in the future, okay? So this is all about the example, capability, and limitations, what they're talking about. Now let's start about the inputs. You can say this is the bar where you can talk, okay? So this is the one person, chat gtp is one person, and this is you, and you just have to start your conversation, right? How the conversation is going to be start, let's understand. So the first conversation, what I'm going to start here, because I'm just focusing on my networking lab. So let me show you what happened to my lab. Okay. So the first thing, let me start with this ether channel, or let me start with this router configuration. So let me show you, this router doesn't having any configuration. See, these are the brand new routers. So let me show you R1, R2, R3, nothing is configured. So, but better I can show you all. So see, these are the brand new router, no configuration at all. Okay, so this router, no configuration. This router also no configuration. So we are talking about the brand new routers. Okay, so once, hey guys, actually, if you're having any query, just try to put on chat window. So even you are watching on the YouTube, I can see many people watching on the YouTube. So if you're having any query, just put in chat. I will try to answer, okay, based on my limited knowledge. This is a TNC. Nobody's expert in the market. Everyone having the learning scope. So this is my router. You can see. So I'll go here. I'll just simply change the host name, nothing else. So if even you want to do via the chat GTP, how to change the host name, I can do that. But it's very easy. So I'm just changing it by on. Rest all configuration I will do via the chat GTP. Okay. So just I'm changing the host name so I can recognize it. And this is the R1. Sorry, host name R1. So let me just do that. Go right. And this is my R3. 50 host name R3. Why this font is little bit big and this is small? Can. Let me see. Okay, never mind. So we almost done. So we just said the host name. Now the first thing, these two interface need to be configured. We having a lab topology. So these two interface need to configure. I can try to do whole configuration by asking chat GTP in one go, but that might be complex for me, for you, and for chat GTP also. It might be I'll not get appropriate answer. So just go a step by step. Okay. So what is step? First, I need to configure these two interfaces, right? I don't know how to configure the router interfaces, right? R1 and R2. Okay. So let me just show you how to going to be configured. So I'm going in chat GTP and I am just going to say chat GTP. Hey chat GTP, I have two router R1 and R2. They having this subnet like 12.0.0.0/30 subnet, right? Because you can see the subnet marks will be 12.0.0.0/30. So one could be assigned here, two could be assigned here. Even you don't want to assign the IP address here and with topology, so you can just put that this one, and ChatGPT will automatically give the IP address. But here, because topology should be must, ChatGPT cannot design the topology for you. Okay, this topology is yours, so topology should be different. What actually you want? ChatGPT help you to do the configuration. What configuration need to apply on the R1 and R2? So let's configure the R1 and R2 first by using the ChatGPT. Okay. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT, hey ChatGPT, can you do the configuration for the R1 and R2 by using this subnet mask? So let me see what keyword you can do. Need to configure. You just have to use the keywords. Need to configure Cisco router R1 and R2 interface. Just let me put what type of interface, so I can just provide the gig interface. So else it will check the by default Ethernet interface. So better you can just put the gig interface. Gig, sorry, not interface with subnet. What subnet? I want 12.0.0.0. So 12.0.0.0/30. So this is what need to configure Cisco router R1 and R2 gig interfaces with subnet this one, right? So let me just put this and see what output I'm getting from the ChatGPT. So see, this is what ChatGPT is doing. He is telling me how to configure this router and all. So let's wait. So just wait and see. Wow. So you can see there is a lot of like output provided and a lot of definition how you can configure this router, but still there is no configuration. Okay, so I'm telling you, once you put the input, based on your input they give some output, but let's understand this output what they have given. To configure the gigabit ethernet interfaces on your Cisco router R1 and R2 with the subnet this one, you can follow these steps. So exactly they define the steps. Connect the console port on each router and log into command line interface CLI. So if you are the beginner, even you don't have the access of the router, so they are talking how you can access the router. So you just have to take the console. This is a brand new router. So you just have to take the console. And after taking the console, you just have to run the command line by using the global configuration mode by typing configuration terminal and press enter. Just type global configuration and press enter, right? So we already know. So we just have to go in the router and the global configuration and just have to type config and press enter. So I have done the same thing. Then after, for each gigabit interface that you want to configure type of interfaces, interface number, whatever the interface number you have. So for this router, gig 0/0, right? So whatever the interface number you have, press enter. And for example, configure gigabit ethernet 0 on the router, you should follow interface ethernet 0, right? So even it's giving the example, you just have to go on an interface and put interface, right? Gigabit 0/0. For my case, it's 0/0, but he is giving the example 0. Press enter, and then you just have to press enter. So I just press enter, go in the configuration and press enter. Then what next they are talking? Next talking, you just have to assign the IP address. So what IP address I've given the subnet mask? So they are giving this IP address, exactly this IP address. So let me just copy this IP address and I can go and I can just simply paste it here. See, IP I assign here, right? Step repeat step 3 and 4. This step repeat 3 and 4 interfaces that want to configure on the each router. So whatever the router R2 pe aapko karna hai, so you just have to go R2 again and you just have to follow the same steps, right? You should finish the configuration, interface, exit the global configuration mode, type exit. Even you done all the configurations, so you just have to type exit. And after exit, what you have to do, you should now have the gigabit in the Cisco router and R2 with this subnet. Note this subnet is a small, also giving some kind of warning, and only can be this and this IP address, valid IP address. Okay. So this is how you can be done. But I'm not happy with this response. Something I have to read and I have to just, go. Let me just, I'm just saying, hey, can you just give me some other output? I'm not happy with this. Okay. So let's see what output it is giving again. So it is completely giving the new access. SSH and they are talking and all. Let's see how it is going to happen. So this is how you can talk again and again. And might be sometime our keywords are not correct, so we'll not get a correct inputs, but sometime our keyword is correct, so we'll get the more inputs. So again, they are talking a similar kind of the uh, again they are talking the right configuration and all. So this output is completely different from the previous one, but the meaning would be the same. But again, I'm talking third time. Let me see what is giving again. Why I'm saying, because you just have to be interactive, right? And sometime it will give the exact configuration what you have to do the configuration. Okay, and the R1 and R2. When it's talking now shut down and shut down. Let me just try one more time and then I'll change the keyboard if it is not going to give the right. So I'll just try to change the questions. Okay, then we'll see what the output is going to happen. Sometime based on your question, they will reply you. Okay, I want exact configuration, right? So keyword is very important. Whatever you're searching, keyword is very important for you. Okay, so again, there is no exact configuration. So I'm just copying this output. Okay, and after copying this output, I'm just going to here and do configuration required configuration script for Cisco router R1 R2 requires interface configuration script for the. So I'm just highlighting need the configuration interface IP. So let me see what output I'm getting now. So see, this is what exactly I wanted to get. And see, you can see the result. So this is the beauty of the ChatGPT. So what exactly I wanted to show you earlier, if you are not putting the correct input, or might be you're putting some different format of the input, you will get the different format of the output. Okay. So you just have to very specific what exactly you want to do. So I just tell in this particular need to configure Cisco router. मेरे को Cisco router configure करना, so what should I follow the steps? So वो step बता रहा था. Again, it was telling the steps. But I told very specific required interface configuration script for the Cisco router R1 and R2 gig interface with the subnet this one. So I tell him, now you do me the exact router configuration script जो मुझे अपने router पे करना है, and I want to do that. So this is your configuration script, or I get it. I just simply copy it and I need to paste on my routers. So I'll just copy, I'll just go here and I'll just copy, and this will place on the R1. Okay. So basically, this is like R1 and R2. So this one should be the R1. So let me just paste to the R1. So I'll go on the R1 and this is my R1 configuration. So I have done, and this is, let's suppose I want to just change the interface name 0 by 0. So if I put the interface even, then I'll get the exact interface name also. But I didn't put the interface name, so that's why there is no interface name available. But if you want to put the interface in the script, it will take the interface name also. So next time I'll show you how it is going to happen. Okay. So R2. So I'll go here and I will just paste it here and see. This is the R2. So I'll just do write memory. Okay. So R1 and R2. So my configuration of the interface has been done. So it's interesting. So my configuration of interface has been done. So if I ping from this router to R2 should be reachable. So let me just ping .2 and should be reachable. See, I'm able to ping. So this chat GTP helped me to do the configuration of this R1 and R2, right? Similar thing, I want to do this configuration for R2 and R3, right? So R2 and R3, I will make this configuration. So let me just try to do that. So I will add some more keyword. So let me just required interface configuration script for Cisco router R2. Let me just put the interface also. So it will give the exact interface. What is the interface? Gig 0 by 1. So this is my interface, gig 0 by 1, and R2 interface. Let me just mention R3. Sorry, R3 interface should be 0 by 1. So I'll mention here gig 0 by 1 with subnet. Subnet will be changed 23, right? So I will just change the subnet. Okay. So let me just change the subnet. And now let me just see what is going to happen. Just wait and see the exact configuration. And see, this is your one side configuration, and this is your another side configuration. So you can see exact configuration with the exact interface name, and you just have to one router you just have to copy this configuration. Might well just copy. I'll go on the R3, and I'll just copy it, and see this configuration has been done. And similar, I'll go and copy this, right? And see the sequence. It's very interesting, and we'll see that now we'll enable the OSPF, right? So let me just do the configuration. So this configuration has been done. So let me just ping from I'm R3. So let me just ping to R2 interface. Let me see. So ping 23.0.0.0.1 and should be reachable. Okay, so I'm reachable. So now this all interface configuration I have done. This interface configuration I have done. Okay, in this lab. What next? Next stage, I need to enable OSPF area 1 and OSPF area. Sorry, 0 in here and 1 is here. So how I can do that? So again, I'll go in the chat GTP and I will ask. I made some kind of the simple questions here, but I'm not going to use. I'm just going to show you real time. Required. Let me just put here required OSPF configuration between R1 area 0 and area 0 subnet 12.0.0.0/30 and R2 area. See, it's area 0 and area 1, right? Because this R2 is one leg is in area 0 and one leg is in area 1. Okay. So I'm just asking a required OSPF configuration between R1, R1, which is area 0, R2, which is area 0 and 1, and R3, area 1. And let me just make the subnet also. Area 0. Let me just try to see what input subnet is 23. Just let me just area 1 and area 1, right? R3. Let me just try what with let me required OSPF configuration between the R1 area 0 subnet this R2 area 0 area 1 with subnet 20, let me just write here 12.0.0/30 and 23.0.0/30. Let me just here put 0 and R3 area 1 subnet 23.0.0.0/30. So I'm trying to put my input, but it have done the conversation in the past also. So he know that where is what configured, but I'm trying to put the input and let's see what he is going to give us. Okay. So he is going to give us configure the OSPF. See what he is going to give us. So he having the old configuration also, right? So he used some memory and he given some output. Okay. And also saying once OSPF configuration is done, how to verify the OSPF configuration. So he is giving us, you just have to go on the routers and you have to run these commands, right? But this command is basically not going to apply all of the routers. Some of the router we have to apply, some of the router we not have to, but this just consolidated the output and give some reply. Okay. So it like very confusing, right? Which and where need to apply. So let me just amend some kind of the here. Let me just do one by one. Okay. One by one. Like I'll do first this one and I'll do again for the third one. So probably it will give the exact output. Okay. So let me just do this one and required OSPF configuration between this and this area 0. Okay. So let me just do first this one. Okay. And let me see. So once we do this one, I will go for the next configuration. So first we'll do R1 and R2, and then we'll do for the R2 and R3. So this is the configuration. Okay. So in this configuration, you'll get that the output. So you just have to use one of the configuration for the R1. Okay. And one configuration you required for the R2. Okay. So probably whatever this configuration they have given to us till here, we can use for the R1, but this is for the R2. Let me just modify again it a little bit. And let me just use till here and let me see what I'm output getting. So it is very important, the keywords, right? So probably will become a little bit more familiar with the keywords. So let me just try this one. I want exact configuration. Okay. So now I have the R1 configuration, right? So this is my R1 configuration. So I'll just copy this R1 configuration because it's matching. Okay. So this is my R1 configuration and I will just copy it and I will go on the R1 and I will just paste it. So R1 having the interface, this one 0 by 0. So it's correct. So I'll just copy it. Okay. So my OSPF configuration has been done. Similar, I will do for the R2. So what I'll do, I will just copy and paste it here. Sorry, not this one. I will just copy this and I will just paste it and I'll put here the R2 area 0 with subnet this, right? So let me just see. So I'll get some kind of output and we'll see how it is going to be happen. So see, automatically it's changed the router and area ID and it's having the predefined the subnet detail. So we just have to copy this. So I will just copy it and I will just go and paste it here. And we'll see my OSPF neighbor SIP has been built or not. So my two OSPF, see my OSPF neighbor SIP has been built. So IP OSPF neighbor and see my OSPF has been up. So R1 and R2 now OSPF neighbor SIP, right? And so IP OSPF neighbor, you can see these two having the OSPF neighbor SIP. Even I don't know how it is have been done. I don't have any idea, but now it is a OSPF neighbor SIP and it is also talking about how to check the neighbor SIP command. You can see here, you can verify the OSPF neighbor SIP, right? Now it's turned to again R2 configuration we required with different set of the configuration, like subnet should be different. So let me just use their subnet. So I'll complete this lab OSPF one. We'll discuss the switching lab in the next session. Okay. So here I will discuss 23 R2 and this time area 1. Okay. So area 1 and configure the OSPF. And let me just at R2 interface. This time, let me just mention the interface is gig 0 by 1. Okay. Gig 0 by 1. Right. And let me see. Oh, wow. So too much fun. And see. Again, this router ID we already configured, so no need to worry. So this is the important. So I will just copy. If I'll copy the complete, there is no problem. But you can see the interface and area ID has been changed. So I'll just copy and go in the R2 and I will just form this, right? So this R2 also configured. Now it's time to R3 configuration. So I will just copy it here. Okay. And after copy, I'll just paste it here and let me see the interface should be the 0 by 1. So there is no change, but the router should be the change. Okay. And subnet is same, right? Area 1. So let me see what the output he is going to give me. So this is what OSPF, you can say router ID automatically I'll get. So even you are forgetting something, it is not going to forget you. Okay. So simply I'll copy this and I will just paste on the R3. And see my router configuration has been done and see my OSPF neighborship has been reachable, right? What next? So now we create the OSPF neighborship from here to here, right? This is the area 1 and this is the area 0. Now we're having a 2 loop backs, right? We need to advertise in the OSPF, right? So how we can advertise in the OSPF? I don't know how to do that. I'm not a technical person. Okay. So let me just ask this to ChatGPT. Okay. So on R1, I want to advertise this loopback 3. I want to create loopback and advertise in the OSPF. Okay. So let me just go in R1. Need to configure loopback 1 with subnet 1.1.1/32 and advertise in OSPF area 0. Need to configure loopback 1 at R1 and advertise OSPF area 1. So let me just write it. See how it is going to happen. So even I don't know how to configure the OSPF. So wow, why should I worry? This is my configuration. I'll just copy and I will just go on the R1 and paste. I have done the loopback configuration and advertise in the OSPF. So this has been done, right? So if this has been advertised in the OSPF, let me see. Do you have any route? Show IP route. Yes, we start getting this loopback 0. See, this is the route. Start getting on the loopback 0. So now I'll do the same work on the R3. Okay, so I'll go and tell to ChatGPT, just do again similar work on R3. So I will go here and I will just I will write 3.3.0 in OSPF area 1. So make sure it is not going to replace the network engineer job. So again, I'm talking to my slide. Okay. So I'm telling you the title I make you should aware, but it is not going to replace you. If you are a network engineer and security engineer, no need to worry. Okay. Still, you should know the logic. Your life will be easy. Your configuration will be accurate, but no need to think everything in your mind. But when you're doing the configuration, the output, what you are getting from the chat GTP, you will get even what you forgot. Some people do the router configuration, OSF configuration, but don't use the router IDs. But chat GTP is saying, hey, use the router ID. Okay. No worry. Some people make mistake. Sir, I use the wildcast or the subnet mask. So it is giving the wildcast. Okay. No need to put the subnet mask in the OSPF. Some people forget to write memory command. So it is reminding you, you have to give the right memory command also. So it is going to make your life easy. It is going to make you error free, but it is not going to fully replace you. Even to run this command, someone should have the knowledge of the networking. It's not like something going to replace. No, human cannot be replaced. Human are always intelligent on any of the devices, because the devices are made by the human only. Based on the human inputs, devices runs. Okay, so whatever the software you're using, that's made by the human. So human are the more superpower than anything. Okay, although we can say we having a many supercomputer and all, and they having the program, but that all made by the humans. So from personally, human are the more powerful. They know how to build the things, they know how to run the science, they know how to run the program, they know how to make the artificial intelligence, they know how to make the machines. So human are the more important. So final step, like we just have to configure on the R3. So let me just write it here, and I will get the R3 router configuration. And once I'll get the R3 router configuration, I will just ping pong test from the R1 and R3, and then we'll run the BGP. Okay, so this is the last task. Okay, we'll do that. So this is my this one, and I will just copy and I'll go R3. So let me show you. If I to see here, there is no route for the R3. Okay, so there is no loopback route. There is no loopback route for the R 3.3.3. Okay, so I'll go here and I'll just configure. So see, my loopback has been configured, advertised in the OSPF. So if I'm going on the R1 again, and if I run here, you will see some route is going to become from the R1. See, so this is the enter area route. You can see OIA, enter area route. So now if I am going to here ping R3 with source loopback 1, see, my reachability is there. So now R1 and R3 are reachable, and they all configured via the ChatGPT. No human configuration I made. So ChatGPT lab, what I achieve, I make the OSPF reachability, and they are now having the full redundancy, and they're able to talk to each other. Now the last section, you just have to make the eBGP session, right? Okay. So let's say suppose I want to make the eBGP session between the R1 and R3, and here is the AS number 100, and here is the AS number 300. So how the BGP configuration is going to be happen? So probably let me just write here. So I can just to duplicate it, and here I can put ASN 300, and so here is my duplicate, and what you are doing, just come here. So this is in the AS 100. So let me just put in AS 100. So this is two neighbor zip. One is AS 100, one is AS 300. So I don't know what is the BGP command, how can run, and we just have to make the BGP with the loopback source. Okay, based on the loopback to loopback BGP. I know if it is going to ask, and you are just working for the networking domain and you're just having a limited knowledge of BGP, probably you will struggle to answer this question, how to make the BGP loopback to loopback connection. Okay, but just think I'm also learner, I don't have any knowledge. So let's ask ChatGPT. Here, ChatGPT, can you do that? Let me ask. Okay, because I'm very non-technical person. So I'm going to ask to complete this task with the ChatGPT. So the requirement is to, we just have to make the loopback to loopback BGP session. So prerequisite to make the BGP session, I'm just giving the free knowledge. We'll discuss more in the BGP session in our NRC and in core. Okay, so if you're still struggling to register, just go and register for our session, which is coming in very soon in the new year, in core and NRC. Very important topic. Okay, if you're looking for CCNA and CCNP, just come and join us. Okay, so new batch is going to be live. Okay, let me just show you new batch schedule, what we have. So probably just visit our YouTube channel. We having the plan, the demo session. Okay, so if you visit the GuiNet, and if you find the GuiNet channel, you will see that the other live session we have. So CCNP NRC, that is going to be happen by tomorrow, right? And CCNP in core, that is today. Okay, today 8:30 p.m. I'll meet you. Okay, so we'll discuss the CCNP in core batch, CCNP NRC batch. We'll discuss CCNP SDWAN, right? Even we recently talked about the network security engineer, Palo Alto, like CCNA also we discussed. Like, so if you want to register anything, just reach out to us. Okay, this is CCNA batch. Reach out to us. We'll definitely help out. So these are the all batches we are running. So you can see CCNA info in RC, Palo Alto Firewall, SD-WAN. If you're having any query, just reach out to us and register, enroll yourself, and definitely you'll get everything from here, right? So if you're registering any course till January, you'll get absolutely one course free. There is no charge. Just you have to pay one course, and one course there will be free. Okay, so just have to pay. This is limited to January registrations till now to January. So if you're going for the any track, you'll get any other track out of this 5. If you're doing the CCNP in core, NRC will be free. Palo Alto, SD-WAN will be free. Anything you can take from out of 5. Okay, so this is just promotion. Let's back to the lab again. So this lab, we are talking BGP configuration, how we can do that. So let me just talk to ChatGPT. Here, ChatGPT, how can I do that? So let me just talk required BGP configuration between R1 and R3. ChatGPT know our all conversation. Okay, so he will understand R13 with loop back 1. Let me see what loopback they created here. Okay, loopback 1 with loopback 1. Required BGP configuration between R1 and R3 with loopback 1, where R1 is number is 100 and R3 is number is 300. Let me see what I'm going to get. Even I don't know what they're going to give, but let me see. Probably we just have to modify if I'll not get the required configuration, but let's see. Wow, it's pretty interesting. I'm amazed. So let me see. BGP neighbor remote is, see. So it given the BGP configuration for the R1 with the remote this one, but still something is missing. It's not correct configuration. Okay, I can read. So let me just modify this. Okay, so it's not correct configuration because I know. Even I'm non-technical, but I know what is wrong. So required BGP configuration R1 with loop back 1 is number 100. Let me see what I'm going to give here. So let me see. So this is the address family. This is still something is not good here. So let me see. I have some kind of the keywords. Okay, so BGP configuration on Cisco router 1 via loopback this to router this. Let me just try this one. Okay, so I just tested something. We just have to keywords. We just have to use. Let me just try this keyword and let me see what is happening. So here's a loopback 3. So no, it's not giving the exact output. Probably. The neighbors is going to form. There is no problem. This configuration is enough to form the neighborship. Okay, because see, this is the BGP configuration and all they have, right? But I want, let me just show you the BGP will be formed. Okay, so if I'm going to here, I'm just copying this configuration. I'll just show you. Okay, so what this loopback already created, so not required. So this is the configuration loopback already we have. So if this is going to be pushed here, okay, and it is just advertising the loopback interface and forming the neighborship. Okay, so this is router here. Okay, so I just copy it here from here, and I'll go on the R1. This is for the R1 configuration. I'll go here. So BGP will be formed. There is no issue. The configuration is correct. but I'm just wanted some realistic configuration like next hop self, ebgp multi-hop command. Those should be also included because if you're forming the loopback neighborship, we require those commands. So it is not giving somehow, but it is giving the configuration command. So let me just try one more time. Here, let me just see. R3, where loopback 1. Let me just put here 3.3.3 / 32 to router 1, loopback 1, and the IP is 1.1.1.1. Let me just type it. And let me just use the, or let me just write this and I'll use the another keyword and we'll see what exactly I wanted it is giving or not. So almost we are done. Few things only I left, but this BGP session has been created. Just note this BGP, there is no issue. BGP they created. This GTP form your BGP, but as I'm technical little bit, so I know what is the issue. Okay, so that's why I'm keep stuck. So this loopback already created, not required. So I'm just removing, and this is your BGP configuration. So let me just go and R3, and let me see the BGP configuration, and we'll see first BGP is coming up or not. Okay, so let me just see. So I'll check whether my BGP session has been created or not. So let me just see here. So just wait, show IP BGP summary, and still it's idle situation, and it is not going to form. I know why it is not going to form. If you know the answer, just put in chat box. If you know answer why BGP is not coming up, just put me in the chat box. Chat GTP has given the like script, but still this script is not correct. Okay, BGP is not forming. So who know? Just put me your name. I'll give the special discount in my NRC class. Okay, if you know the answer, just put in chat or comment box. If you learn the NRC, I'll tell you the region. Today I'll also tell the region, but just let me know why it is not pinging. Okay. So this is not forming the BGP. So chat GTP, you are not doing good. Okay. So let me just ask chat GTP to do some advanced things in this BGP. And I will ask him add update source loopback command. Okay. Loopback command. So let me just see if he's going to do or not. If you know, still you are able to know, let me. So he's writing the command. Okay. So now he done some modification in the BGP configuration, and let me just use this BGP configuration. Okay. So he added here. So let me just go on the R3 and I will just paste it on R3. Okay. And similar on the R1, it is going to similar command. So I will just remove this one and I will just replace this one. He is going to give the similar output, and AS number is also going to change. So I will just paste this one on the R1. Sorry, R. Okay, I made it in the R3. Let me just make on the R1. So this is R1. So now let me just see what is happening. Show run section BGP. So this is my BGP command. You can see here, network is this is my update source, this one, and I'm here. Let me see here. Show run section. Show run section BGP. Let me just see. Neighbor is this. Let me just ping the neighbor. So neighbor is pingable. Show IP BGP summary, and still it is down. Okay. So chat GTP. Let me just see here. Let me just ask to add eBGP multi-hop also. Okay. So by default TTL is 0. So update source is just to make the next hop correctly. But let me just ask to add the eBGP multi-hop command also. So it is something like advanced. It is not giving, but let me just ask him forcefully to give this. Okay. With add eBGP multi-hop command. Multi-hop. Okay, let me just try what he is giving. So still our BGP configuration is not correct. So might be the keyword is what I'm using. It is not recognized. You need to know correct later. So here is a command eBGP multi-hop 2. By default, it is added. So we just have to add manually, and somehow it is not recognizing. So I will go here and I'll add this command on the R3. So I will go here and I will, by default, let me see, by default 2 is going to work, or I have to increase it 100, and I will just go there 3.3.0, and I will just go on R1 and I will say, so let me just check, show IP BGP summary, and you see our BGP neighborship has been formed. Wow, finally. Okay, so you see what was the mistake? The ChatGPT one time not understand fully our keyword, or might be we are the humans and we not correctly put our keywords, and this is the reason the earlier BGP was not forming, because the form when you forming the BGP with the loopback interfaces, right? Loopback interface. So you should know the command meaning of eBGP. Let me write here, eBGP multi-hop. Okay, what is doing this command? Okay, and what is the meaning of the update source loopback 0, or what is the meaning of the update source? So if you really want to understand those advanced concepts, just join the in-core analysis session. Okay, I'm again saying, because this thing I'm going to tell you in very deep. Okay, so you want to join in core session, what I'm going to cover, just wait for 8:30. I'll be live again. Okay, and I will discuss again. So finally, by using the ChatGPT, we able to do all configuration, but we understand to doing this configuration by the non-technical person is not possible. Okay, so your job is not going to be go away. Okay, okay, even the ChatGPT, your life is going to be easy. Your roles is going to be easy. You can easily correlate anything, whatever you want to do via the ChatGPT. Okay, so the next session I'll do the switch configuration, probably when I'll do the next time, and I'll make you how the VLAN is created, how the Ether channel is created, and how the entire switch configuration is going to happen in the next lab. I have already the script, I have already PPT I have created to configure these all VLAN and all, but I'm not going to make this video very long because already it's more than 1 hour, and I'm keep discussing about ChatGPT. So I'll keep doing the sessions about the ChatGPT, and this is a very useful tool, guys. Okay, even you want to do any mathematics and you are struggling, so class 12th math questions. So if you want to do any questions like class 12th and all, so you can just want to solve, or you can just put me any question in chat, guys. Even I don't know how to search. If anything you want to just any reasoning, like you want to just solve it here, like I'm just putting this number, right? And I don't know what is, like, this calculation is going to happen. Just press it, it will give the answer. See, multiply this number, it is going to happen. So any mathematics, any number, if you want to plus this all, let me just show you this minus 45, yeah, this I don't know what I'm doing, but let me just put any random things and let's see what happening. It will understand and it will give the no calculator is going to require. So this is the value, you see, we'll get this value is minus 070 700, and this is what the explanation giving. So anything, if you want to learn, just go and use the ChatGPT. It's very interesting, very important, and very latest technologies. Okay, so you should be updated. Okay, and thank you so much, guys, for your time. Okay, I really appreciate your time and patience, and I enjoyed a lot. So let you see you again after 3 hours, 8:30, to just discuss about the Encore. Okay, thank you so much.